Hello and very good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Today I am presenting to you a webinar about ice creams, the secret scoop, how to build innovative and sustainable end-to-end ice cream solutions. Today in this webinar, you will learn about some new techniques, new technology and innovations in the ice cream manufacturing, processing and technology. My name is Pranav. I am working with SPX FLOW in Denmark. I have been in dairy and food industry for 23 years, and I have been also working with lots of developmental projects within ice cream technology on the process side, on the technology side, from the ingredient side, and I am also instrumental in making the collaboration where we have the gaps in ice cream making process technology. For example, for the freezers, that is continuous freezers, hardening tunnel and packing lines, which I will show you. In today's presentation, I want to cover the innovations that can help you to make nutritious ice creams, that can reduce your capex and opex throughout the life cycle of the plant operations, and how you can combat the current challenges in the market. Our purpose is to improve the world through innovative and sustainable solutions. In today's presentation, what I would like to cover is the global overview, little bit of it. What are the global challenges and how to mitigate those global challenges? What are the ice cream market trends? What rate ice cream is growing? What are which are the biggest countries that are having the biggest market share in the ice cream business? The challenges for ice cream production, sustainable end-to-end ice cream solution lines with the help of flowcharts, how to develop the recipes for success, and how we help in total life cycle support. To look into overall global economic impact, if you see the pie chart, what we are showing here, current economic growth is below average. And we know that. The reasons are many, which are shown here. So there is impact of COVID, which is still there around. There are political conflicts. There are geopolitical conflicts as well as trade wars between countries. This disrupts the supply chain. There are rising energy prices. The inflation is high because of rising energy prices. The rate of borrowing is also increased in the western part of the world. So there are many such challenges which are impacting all the industries, and hence it is also impacting our industry, that is dairy industry. And when the dairy industry is impacted, the high value and the luxury products, they are impacted most, and ice cream falls in high value product, it falls in the luxury product. So those challenges do impact a lot, but we have some ideas how to mitigate those challenges. Before that, let us have a look on the global market overview. So on the right side, what we are showing is a CAGR, that is compounded average growth rate from year 23 to 28. The growth rate for the ice cream, this is the retail market value, which translates also into how much you are selling into the market, and then how much we are selling in terms of equipment to the manufacturers. So the ice cream retail market, that is growing at the rate of 2.7%. On the left side, what you see is the total value of the ice cream market. The total retail market value for the dairy-based ice cream is $77 billion. Plant-based ice cream or plant-based dessert, I should say, they came before 3-4 years, there was more growth in terms of percentage year on year on the plant-based, but currently we are seeing little slowdown on plant-based ice creams. I will also show you some more information on that because some companies have launched ice cream and vegan options. We have some photos and some indicative recipes coming up, but our current focus would be more on dairy ice creams, which is the major chunk, $77 billion. The largest countries are US, China, and Japan. If you see 2.7% year-on-year growth, if you consider for next 5 years, then we are talking of 14.5%, which is quite a healthy growth. If you want to expand in ice cream or if you want to increase the product range within ice cream. And there are some ideas we will put in front of you, how you can increase. with new recipes, high protein, low sugar, less fat, for example. And to conclude this slide, the largest growth countries that we are seeing for next 5 years will be China, India, and US. What are the key market trends? The key market trends are indulgence without guilt, so permissible indulgence, cost consciousness among the consumer. When the energy prices have increased a lot, rate of borrowing has increased a lot, it has put pressure on on the food basket, where people have allocated budget for their food basket. So the consumer has become more cost conscious, and the consumer is also asking for more nutritious product. So high protein, low fat, low sugar, probiotic, vegan options, sustainable products. So those are the key market trends, and these three key market trends are gathered from many sub market trends. So here what you see, three pillars are the macro pillars, and then there are some attributes to it, which I will not go through because of the time constraint, but you will get this recording and you can have a look at it later. So here we have selected few products from the market. What are the latest trends? We have lifestyle specific options, which are promoting low calorie, keto diets, low sugar, natural and organic. There is also plant-based alternatives, which is one of the trends, one of the novel products that you see in the market. Those are vegan, dairy free, lactose free, free from any animal protein. There are also ice creams available with functional benefits. That is, for example, probiotic with probiotic bacteria cultures, ice cream with fibers, added fibers, and also ice cream with specific protein blend. There are ice creams available which can improve your immune system, which are having more vitamins, minerals, trace elements added into it. Some of the products are also being launched, which are called retro flavors, which were very hit before 2-3 decades, and now they are coming back again. And then there are unique flavor and sensory experience product, which we call as artisan products. So these are some of the ideas, and with our lines, which I'm going to show you, you can produce all of these products on a common line. Only the thing is that we should know beforehand we start designing those lines, and then we can design it accordingly, and it gives you full flexibility. As a manufacturer, whoever is listening to us now, if we ask you, what are your challenges for ice cream production? Number one challenge would be taste, flavor, texture, creaminess, melting rate. So this one would be your prime concern. Now, in given scenario, in current situation, we would also be looking in recipe optimization, cost optimization, capex optimization, opex optimization. And overall, as a larger picture, it's important also that you would be looking into challenges like regulations, allergens, cleanability, flexibility in the line, sustainability, how to build your line most sustainable by reducing the losses or eliminating the losses, having more uptime, less cost on CIP. So these are some of the challenges that we know about from the surveys that we do. We call it voice of customer. So when we hear from the customers and we try to give our solutions based on those challenges. So now here in front of you, what you see is a flowchart. Easy to understand flowchart. I will run through the flowchart quickly. So the first section, what you see here is a reception. You receive the raw materials depending on your recipes. So it can be milk, cream, sugar, liquid syrup, for example, glucose syrup. You go through the mixing section. Here we are showing you Flex Mix Instant. That is a type of vacuum mixture. And there is a slide coming up showing the benefits of it. Then it passes through a cavitator. We have a pasteurizer here, homogenizer, aging tanks, and continuous freezer. And then it goes to the packing line and the cold store. So this is a very basic ice cream line. Whoever is coming from the ice cream business, they would be knowing it very well. But we have some new modern innovations in this line, which I want to show you as the presentation goes forward. So what we have new thing here now, I will show you three new things here in this slide that you would see as a novelty in the processing segment. So the first section here, we call it as a lean cream. The process of lean cream is that you convert the whey. It can be sweet whey, it can be acid whey, any way you pass through UF, that is ultrafiltration. The retentate from UF is collected as WPC, whey protein concentrate, up to 60% concentration. So WPC 60, the protein percentage is 60%. And then you pass it through a heat exchanger with controlled shear. And what you get here is a lean cream. It is still whey protein, but now you have modified it in a way that it resembles like fat. The beauty of this process is that you can reduce the fat in the recipe by 1/3. So you inject more protein, so you increase the protein content in the recipe and reduce the fat without compromising the flavor. This is one of the things I wanted to show you in this flow diagram. Another thing I want to show you is the cavitator. There is a slide coming up, but the cavitator is one of the equipment which, with the virtue of controlled hydrodynamic cavitation, it can give you continuous hydration. So there is no need of hydration tank. It also reduces the use of stabilizers and emulsifiers because it opens up the surface of those ingredients fully, and you can use it totally without anything getting waste in the filters. I also want to show you the equipment which we are introducing to recirculate the water which is used for cooling the pistons of homogenizer. So water cooling for homogenizer piston on the milk side as well as on the power side. Both the circuits, we collect the water and clean it and reuse it. So let us go through this solution one by one. There is slide coming up for each of the solution that we were discussing. The automation is also one of the very important factor. Whenever we supply you the plant, we have this 25 plus years of experience in the automation. We come with our factory expert suite, and there are many engineers behind it. The automation makes your operations smoother, but it also helps you to attain more sustainability because you have sharper cutoff points. Your process scheduling become more efficient, and overall operations become more the performance of overall operations improves. So it is very important when you choose any supplier, then you choose a supplier with the right kind of automation. From the flowchart, now I want to go through few sections where we make some difference in the market and where you can benefit from those technology differences. The first slide of raw material, which I will very quickly tell you that the first two here, what you see, the ice cream made from milk and ice cream containing vegetable fat. Those two are 80% of the market, where we are more focused on those two. For the last two, the sorbets ice cream and water ice made from water sugar flavors, we are not so much active. So today my whole focus will be on ice cream made from milk products only, 100% milk products, and ice cream made from vegetable fat. So we can call it as plant-based desserts or vegan ice cream. If we start with the first section, that is mixing and cavitation, we are having more confidence on the mixture which can give you high shear mixing. So here we are talking about Flex Mix Instant. The Flex Mix Instant is a vacuum mixture, so it takes off dissolved air, which helps throughout the process in the downstream. You can achieve the particle size, very narrow particle size distribution after mixing of 1 to 5 microns. It can operate from 10 degrees to 90 degrees, so it is possible to clean it efficiently. It is with the rotor stator design. It can handle many recipes. So you can have ice cream mix of many recipes only with the help of one mixture. So it is very efficient machine to put in the upstream mixing process. One more thing which I want to show you, in our Flex Mix Instant machine, we don't use this vortex mechanism inside the machine. We are having this forced vortex. So we are breaking this vortex to give you efficient mixing. And this is for the purpose. The bottom of this mixing tank is made with the cone. So you break the vortex. The cavitator, which is just sitting after the mixture, it's the main benefit of cavitator is that we have 100% utilization, I will show you the calculation, how much you can save on stabilizer and emulsifier. And you can also get instant hydration for the proteins. So you don't need to wait for the hydration of the proteins. Your operations become more continuous. So let us say if you are adding stabilizer uh, in terms of percentage, like 0.28%. With the help of cavitator, you can reduce the stabilizer to 0.21%, and there is a saving of 0.07%. If you multiply this with the cost of stabilizer and multiply it with the year, with the whole year, calculating the hours in a day and number of days in a year, it is a $500,000 US of saving. So very significant saving just by calculating the saving in stabilizer. If you add the saving in emulsifier, it will be more. If you add the saving for instant hydration, it will be more. And cavitator also helps you to improve the efficiency of mixing. So there are multiple benefits of cavitator, which you can also try by doing some trials at our facility. We have a cavitator at our Silkeborg, Denmark Innovation Center and our Mamirol Innovation Center in France. The cavitator can also be shipped to you at your factory on the skid, so you can do your own trials. There is a rental unit also available. The lean cream is a trade name. It is actually microparticulation of whey. What we are doing here is you get the whey, and it can be any whey, any residual whey that you have in the plant. It can be acidic whey or sweet whey. You pass through the UF, that is ultrafiltration. The retentate is taken into the tank, and this retentate goes through microparticulation process where we are using it. We pass it through a scrape surface heat exchanger where we give the shear and the temperature, control shear, control temperature, and what we get is a lean cream. The lean cream has the particle size. The proteins are now having the particle size similar to fat globules, that is within 1 to 10 micrometers. And when you taste this lean cream, it tastes very rich like fat, but it is protein in fact. And there are many applications of this lean cream. You can use in ice cream, you can use in high protein yogurts, drinkable and set yogurts. You can use it in many places. Here I am focusing on ice cream. So I am showing you ice cream application, but it comes in different sizes, starting from capacities ranging from 500 to 3000 liters per hour. And it can handle viscosities up to 100 centipoise. If you see the particle size distribution, it is very narrow particle size distribution. The blue and red lines, they are showing lean cream at different speeds of different rotation speeds. And the particle size is picking up. If you see the peak, it is mostly at the range of 5 microns, which is very near to the fat globule particle size. So you can increase the protein content, reduce the fat content, and without giving away any flavor profile of the ice cream. So very good and nice way to make the ice cream nutritious. Microparticulation actually can also be done with the cavitator, and we did it in a previous slide. It was done in a scrape surface heat exchanger. We also did the same with the cavitator, and it is called the process of cavimaster. But we use the standard recipe, that is with the normal fat percentage, and then we reduce the fat percentage to 1/3, adding the lean cream or microparticulated whey with the cavimaster. And what we saw, flavor intensity in terms of body, in terms of texture, in terms of melting, in terms of homogeneity, it is almost following the curves of a normal ice cream. So we don't have any compromise on the body, texture, flavor, but we increase the nutrition value of the ice cream by adding the microparticulated whey. Moving from mixing to pasteurization and homogenization. For pasteurization, we recommend a wide gap PHE. Wide gap PHE is recommended because the ice cream mix are at higher total solids. They come with higher viscosity. So instead of using normal PHE, it's always recommended to use wide gap PHE. The reasons are here that in a normal plate heat exchanger, the point of contacts are many. For example, 6,640 per square meter. While in wide gap, DuraFlow and DuraFlow Plus, if you see for DuraFlow Plus, it is only 1,340 contact points per square meter. So what we are doing here is by increasing the gap from 2.6 to 4 mm, we are actually giving the product more gentle treatment. It is having low contact point, so there is less mechanical stress on the product. For high viscosity applications, it is always recommended to go with this wide gap PHEs. For homogenization, there are two things which I would like to show you here. On the left side, what we are seeing is a water recirculation system for the homogenizer, where we are collecting the water from oil cooling as well as the plunger water. It is being cleaned, it is being sterilized, cooled and sent back, so you don't lose the water. It is continuously reused in the circuit, and it's a huge water saving for homogenizers. And on the right side, what we are showing is a micro gap for increasing the homogenization efficiency. So you can reduce the energy of homogenization power by 25%, which is very significant given the motor size of homogenizer. By water recirculation, you can save up to 97% of the water. So 25% saving on the power and 97% saving on water. The mix, ice cream mix, is now following the flowchart, and now we are at the aging tanks. These aging tanks are very important because the ice cream mix is resting here overnight, 8 to 10 hours. It needs to be designed with the highest hygiene and good mixing efficiency. So we are having, and we are offering Stelzer mixtures, which is a SPX FLOW brand. We designed this agitator with off center, approximately 10% off center. There are no baffles needed, so it gives you better cleanability in the tank. It improves the mixing time, meaning you can reduce the overall mixing time and make your operations more efficient. The mounting and the maintenance of impellers is also easy, and the design of these impellers are specifically taken care to do efficient at yet gentle mixing for these high viscosity products. The flavor dosing for ice creams, you might need to add flavors, fragrances, even the chunks of fruit. It can be done with our flavor dosing system. These flavor dosing systems are manufactured in hygienic and aseptic versions, so you can also have the highest level of hygiene up to the level of commercial sterility when you are adding the flavors at the last part of the process. The accuracy is up to 0.5%, and we design it on the skid. So it is skid coming to your facility. It's a plug and play unit, which can be utilized for dosing and adding any flavors and fragrances. The pigging systems are actually very beneficial for reducing the losses to huge extent. In your current system, if the losses are in a range of 3 to 4%, with the help of pigging system, you can reduce it to less than 0.5%. Here you scrape the total solids without mixing with the water. So there is a scraper which scrapes the pipe from mixing tank to aging tanks, and from aging tank to freezer. There are two places where you can use this pigging and scraping system. The water will never touch the product. It will be the scraper that will be pushing the product. So you get very clean cut. You can utilize all your ice cream mix, which is a high value product. And we have also won award for this system recently. It was a global competition for sustainability where we presented this idea, and it won the first prize. So by scraping the surface instead of flushing with the water, you can reduce the losses, you can increase the uptime, reduce the CIP time, and reduce the CIP chemicals, caustic acid, and also hot water. The return on investments for such a system is less than 6 months. Here I am presenting you our partners, ICE Group. Here we are having a very close and strong partnership with a company from Poland. We are based in Denmark. We have our innovation center in Silkeborg, and in France, in Mamirol. And we do conduct lots of joint trials, joint innovations with ICE Group. They are having lines, full lines, like continuous freezers, hardening tunnels, packing lines with many type of packing possibilities, and all type of ice cream hardening tunnels. So they have many references too. So when we come to you with the full solution. That is why we say that we come to you with end-to-end solution, starting from reception to mixing, homogenization, pasteurization, cavitation, aging tank, continuous freezers, hardening tunnel, and the cold store for the ice cream. Of late, in recent years, we have also started doing our own trials for making plant-based ice cream. So we made the samples here, which you can see at Memirol in France, our innovation center, and we made sensory evaluation of those ice creams, which were pretty good. If you are having any ideas of new recipes for the dairy where you want to use lean cream, or you want to make any blended ice creams or frozen desserts made from 100% vegan recipes, then please do contact us, and we will be able to do the joint trials with you. We are having the innovation centers within Europe. We are also having one in Asia Pacific in Zidu and one in Dubai. So thank you for listening so far, and I'm looking forward to having your questions. I will try to answer as many as possible. If I'm not able to answer because of the time constraint, then I will reach out to you on your email. So please keep your questions coming in, and I will be happy to answer those questions. Thank you so much. Hello, everybody. Thank you for listening. So let me go through the question chat box here. So the first question is about what is the growth rate overall market size for the ice cream market in India? And for India, the overall market currently what we have for ice cream is around 3 billion US dollars. The growth rate, if we see in overall Asia Pacific, India is currently growing at double digit at 11 to 13% compounded average growth rate, and this growth will continue for next decade. So it seems to be a promising market, and if you are looking into investment in ice cream for that region, then please reach out to us. We would like to connect with you and learn more about your project. Another question is about the pigging system. What are the options available and the applications? The pigging systems or the scraping systems that we have, those are available in hygienic version. They're also available in aseptic version and in ultra clean version. So depending on your application, if you are looking for applying to the lines where you need only hygienic version of it, so specifically for ice cream project, as we were discussing, from mixing to aging to packing, it can also be used for cream section, for example. But if it is a aseptic part of your process where you want to use it, then we do have a aseptic system. And if there is something in between, like long shelf life product, then we have something called ultra clean. The difference between ultra clean and aseptic is, in aseptic we use steam barrier, we use membrane valves, while in ultra clean we don't need steam barriers. Another question was about mixing solutions. So what are the mixing solutions that you have, and is it possible to have open to air, or do you recommend vacuum mixing? So for specifically ice cream application, we recommend flex mix instant, which is a vacuum mixing. But if there are some sections within the dairy where you need a little bit of addition of air is okay, you don't bother a lot about dissolve air because there is a deaerator downstream, then we do have something cost optimized solution called TPM. It is open to air mixture, and that also you can use. But the mixing can also be done with combination. As we were showing, it can be flex mix instant with the vacuum mixing followed by cavitator. So it can give you instant hydration, and the mixing of those ingredients, whatever you are adding, can give you, because of the high shear mixing, it gives you more uniformity in the mixing. For the cavitator, can we install at any system? So this is the question about cavitator, and yes, it can be installed. It looks like a pump. It is a size of a pump, a bigger pump, for example. It doesn't require a big space. So there are many applications for cavitator, and you can put it. We were discussing the instant hydration, we were discussing mixing, but it can also be used for scale-free heating, for example. And We do have some cavitators wherever you are in the part of the world that I cannot see who is asking the question, but wherever you are, we can have this trial cavitator which comes on a very small skid. You can do your trials and send it back, or you can also send the samples and we can do the trials at our innovation center and we can share the results with you. You are also welcome to be present during the trials. So if you are interested in any trials with the cavitator, you are welcome to connect with us. And while we are touching the point of cavitator, I would also like to inform you that for the drying spray dryers, cavitator has also a property of reducing the viscosity. So whatever total solids you are putting in the dryer, say 48, 50%, if you have cavitator before you put the feed in the dryer, you reduce the viscosity so you can increase the total solid and you can make the dryer operation more efficient. So that is also a very good application to increase your efficiency of the dryers. Regarding the raw material, you mainly mentioned raw material in liquid form. What about the raw material in solid powder form? Can you handle it or not? Yes, we can handle. That is why, specifically, why we were recommending flex mix instant. It is a high shear mixture, and the high shear mixture can handle. The main purpose of putting it there was it can handle the solids. So, for example, if you are adding milled sugar, if you are adding cocoa powder, if you are adding any other milk solids like skim milk powder, whole milk powder, all can be handled within flex mix instant. To make the operations continuous, you can also have two. So when one is making the batch and pushing the solids, other can be cleaned and made ready by flip flop mechanism. You can make the process continuous. There are more questions about innovation center. Where do you have it? So we have innovation center, one in Memirol, which is in France. We have another one in Silkeborg, which is in Denmark. So both the innovation centers are actually available. If you let us know a month before, it will be better for us to plan the dates. Mostly those innovation centers are booked. The Memirol, in fact, is a dairy, a small dairy, which is procuring milk all around the year. So we have raw material coming in there every day. It's a matter of scheduling early. There we can do ice creams. We can do dairy and vegan ice creams. We can do fresh and fermented products in Memirol. In Silkeborg, we can do membranes. We can do cavitator, homogenizer, ultra high treatment. We can do all wet processing, pumping, valves. So it is there. And in Copenhagen, in Denmark, we have for evaporation and spray drying if you are interested in that part. So SPX machines are expensive, and any alternative for small scale startups in India? Yeah, this is very good question. In fact, for small scale startups, we do have a special range of equipment. We call it as a small scale plants. These small scale plants are available for multi-purpose fresh and fermented processing, including ice creams, also for evaporation and spray dryer. And when we are discussing the small scale plants, the prices in fact are very competitive. The benefit that you will get is the prices will be not at the level of the commercial plants. First of all, they are competitive. Secondly, the scaling possibility from our small scale plants to any commercial big plant will be 100% relative. You can, whatever you make at our small scale plants, you can exactly mimic on the bigger scale plants. So this scalability and the know-how will be very important. But it's very important, if we can talk together, I think we can work together. We can have some solution which is you get European technology, the know-how from Europe by our Pune office, which is localized engineering. So you get both best of both worlds. You get best technology and you get localized content. And we have done that model many times. So please connect with us. In current, I am currently working with the ice cream section facing the issue with coliforms of some products, especially. Can you inform more on that? Coliform issue is mainly coming from somewhere. I don't know where exactly the point of contamination can be from this question, but there can be two ways to solve this. One is the efficient CIP of the plant. If it is not happening, then why it is not happening? The the CIP, 5 T's of CIP: time, temperature, titration, turbidity, technology. So the CIP efficiency is important, but also there should not be any post-process contamination. So if you can give us more information, what I can do is I will assure that somebody from our team, our ice cream specialist, our process technologist, can have an audit of the plant. It can take half a day, 1 day audit, and then we can give you the report what can be done. And after studying your line, I think it is possible we will be able to solve the problem. We have faced this problem many times all over the world. Wherever there are contamination issues, and we go audit them and then we give some solutions. So please reach out to us. We would like to hear more and solve the problem. So another one was I will have to scroll little bit up because the questions were going away. Do you have any installations in Saudi? Yeah, we do. We have uh, lots of installations in Saudi with the leading customers, and there are there are who are those leading ones. We are working very regularly with them. We handle Saudi Arabia from our Dubai office where we have a team. So we have our engineering, our project management, our technical sales, and aftermarket setup in Dubai. We also have our innovation center there in Dubai, where we have innovation center for aseptic processing and aseptic packing, where we collaborate with SIG Combi Block as our partners. So for Saudi Arabia, we are having lots of installation on wet processing, including fresh and fermented, fresh cheese, on process pasteurization, homogenization, evaporation, spray drying. So all kind of installations. I'm not able to see what kind of installations you are exactly asking here, but to answer our question, yes, we do have, and we do have also our organization to support Saudi Arabia as a region. Another question is about cavitator. What is the price of cavitator? So it depends because it is a full range of different sizes, depending from the very small one to large one, 500 liters to couple of thousand liters per hour. And then it has different uh, permutation combinations. The motor, for example, what is the frequency of the motor? Do you need frequency drive or not? And actually the cavitator comes with, it looks like a pump, but instead of impeller, it is having a wheel with the holes. It also depends on the diameter of this wheel and how many lines of holes you have. It can be 2 lines, 3 lines. There are many combinations, but what I think, the cost and price of cavitator is only relevant if it can give value to you and it can give you the return on investment less than 2 years. So if you tell me more about your application, we can make a very small case study where we show the price versus value and how it would be beneficial to you in terms of product quality, OPEX and CAPEX, and how fast is the return on investment. So please write back to us. I think it's a good point that you are interested in cavitator. And as I said, there are so many applications giving so many benefits. Typically, we have seen wherever we put the cavitator, the return on investment is less than 2 years. And in dairy industry, wherever we see the return on investment less than 2.5 years, it is considered as a good ROI. So another question is about, you were mentioning in the webinar about cost saving for stabilizer. Which step do you suggest to add stabilizer to achieve best performance in the final product, before cavitator or after? Before cavitator, for sure. What cavitator does, cavitator opens up this surface area of the stabilizer and emulsifier. So you utilize it 100%. Normally, what you do now, if you add stabilizer emulsifier after the processing, if you see the filters, you will see some of the stabilizer and emulsifiers sticking around in the filter, and you have to wash it out, throw it out. So it is not used 100%. To compensate, the operator might be adding little bit more uh, before the mixing section. So our recommendation is to put it before the cavitator, pass it through cavitator and see the difference for yourself. It is not necessary that you buy first. I would say you try first. So as I was saying, we have it at our innovation center, but we also have the unit to dispatch as a trial unit at your own factory. So many times customers, they don't want to give away the recipe, they don't want to give away any IP. And for the confidentiality, it is also one way that you bring the cavitator at your place, you rent it out, for example, for a week, 2 week, or a month. You run your product, and then you can make your own analysis with your own team from operations, quality, marketing team. And if you're satisfied, then we can offer you some proposal for that. Can we install as add-on lean cream machine or pigging system to our existing? Oh, this is a very good question, and this is where the value addition comes in. When we were showing you the flow diagram, it was not that when you buy a new plant or when you put a new greenfield project, then you should have everything installed at the new plant. In your existing plant, these are very good upgrades. Currently, all over the world, all the factories, they are aiming for sustainability. For sustainability, the pigging system, as we were discussing, they can reduce your losses to huge extent, reduce your CIP chemical usage because your CIP will be faster. There are no solids left to clean after pigging, so CIP is faster, and there is lots of water saving. So if our friends and colleagues who are listening from the water deficient areas, pigging system can not only save your total solids, it can save lots of water. That is one thing. For lean cream, when lean cream also doesn't require lots of space. It is a scrapes surface heat exchangers which are installed vertically. Okay. If you have a small area available in your processing room, or you can also build it on a level, on halfway in the hall room. And then it is very much possible to install lean cream machine in your current facility. Lean cream can also be manufactured by cavitator, so by the process of cavimaster. In your factory, if you are having sweet whey, you might be drying it or you might be using it somewhere. But what about acid whey? Acid whey in your factory currently is not utilized. It might be wasted. The acid whey can be utilized in the lean cream, and then it becomes a raw material for your ice cream. So there are two benefits here. You don't throw away acid whey, you reduce the effluent treatment cost for your plant. Or if you are giving away to municipality, then you reduce the cost you pay for throwing away the acid way. And another benefit is that you include that at your as your raw material. So you insource protein, increase your protein content in ice cream, in yogurts, in powders, in cheese. This lean cream actually can be used also in cheeses. So the recipe becomes more nutritious. You reduce your fat, increase the protein, and do lots of insourcing possibilities by lean cream process. It's a very good innovative process. Lots of material available online, also on our website. If you are interested, you can have a look there. There's a brochure there, and you can connect with us, do the trials with us. We always are open for the trials because before investing, if you have done the trial, if you have seen it yourself, you really feel confident before you make the investment. So please connect with us. And I would repeat, lean cream can be done also with acid way. So lactic acid way, malic acid way, acetic acid way, also the normal sweet way. So paneer way, for example, we can do lean cream. Could you please explain more about the powder intake of flex mix? Yeah. So whoever is asking this is I could see he's a very or she's a very technical person. Is flex mix intake, powder intake is one of the patent that we have filed. It is a very special mechanism. What you see in normal mixtures where the powders are being sucked in, there is a valve which keeps opening and closing, and there is a seal at the valve. If it is not totally clean every time you suck in sugar or skim milk powder, whole milk powder, cocoa powder, anything, if it is stuck little bit, if your seal is not closing properly, there will be leakage. The cleaning will not be efficient. The seal will be corroded really fast. So what we have done in our FlexMix instant intake valve, the patent is all about opening it and closing it in a sequence such that in this sequence we keep on cleaning the seal with the air, and there is always no particle left when the valve flap is closing and opening. So it gives you very clean cut, first of all, between the materials that you are putting in, and it also gives you efficient cleaning when the CIP is done. The life of the seal is also longer. So if you can send me your email, just drop a mail asking for more information. I will send you a specific information how this intake is designed and what the patent includes. It has lots of good technical details, and I can send you a brochure specifically for FlexMix Instant. Is the fruit dosing system limited to ice cream? Actually, no. Fruit dosing, which we were showing you here, it is used a lot currently in our yogurts also, in the yogurts line. It can also be used in many other dosing. It can be used for dosing flavors. We have one specific dosing system for dosing cultures in the yogurts. This fruit dosing system is available in hygienic and aseptic version both. So it can not only dose the flavors, fragrances, and purees, it can also dose the fruit chunks. So it is not only limited to ice cream. One of the application is the ice cream mixed dosing, but it has multiple applications. Wherever you need to dose something hygienically or aseptically, it can be utilized. System to reduce the coliform is again one of the repeat questions I can see. Can you assure about it? Yes, I once we have visited your plant and we give you recommendation, and if those recommendations are followed, we assure you we can remove the problem. uh, I know in ice cream why the issue is so critical. First of all, it is a consumer product. Secondly, there is only one pasteurization in the whole process line, and once you have the pasteurization done, whole downstream it is all cold line. There is nothing, no possibility of doing anything else in terms of heat treatment. So it is very critical that how we see each step, find out how, what can be the mode of contamination, how is the water quality in your facility, because after CIP, how is the final rinse water quality. There are many aspects, but I think if we visit the plant, if we make the audit and give the recommendation, we can be sure of removing this problem for you. I don't know from where you're writing, or I cannot see more information here in my system. For now, I can only see a question coming in. It is anonymous. So please reach out to us and we will solve your problem. What is the benefit of cavitator in spray drying, and what location we can use in spray drying? The benefit of cavitator in spray drying is to reduce the viscosity of the feed before you put it in the spray dryer. The location where it is used is between the evaporator and the spray dryer. It also gives you benefit of scale free heating. So your preheating, whatever you are doing up to 75, you can also save the steam there because the cavitator increases the temperature of the feed too. So um, we have done the trials with one of the leading customer, one of the globally leading customer in spray drying business, and the results were very promising. So we have some learning, we have know-how. It can be done on high value products like nutraceuticals, infant formulas, on whey protein WPI. So if you do it on value added high value products, the return on investment will be pretty quick. And if I'm not mistaken, the ROI can be less than 1.5 year, even better than that. What are the flavors that can be dosed in the flavor equipment? only liquid flavor or fruit ripples? Liquid flavors, fruit ripples, yes. I am also willing to tell you one more thing here, that there is possibility of using a pigging system in the flavor system also, which is little different than the pigging system that I was showing you earlier, because here the pigging system is moving in a circular motion. So consider you have a flavor dosing system, and then currently you are running a strawberry flavor and you want to now change it to pineapple flavor. So you push the flavor behind the flavor, putting the pig in between. So there is seamless change of flavor. You don't need to do CIP in between. You don't need to stop the plant. So consider this as a huge saving in uptime in your production time. In earlier picking system, we discussed all the savings in total solids, CIP, chemicals, water. But one of the important for that one also is the uptime. If you reduce your CIP by 15 minutes, 1 5, it gives you 15 minutes of more uptime every day throughout the year. So it is a huge gain if you consider how much production you can gain in those 15 minutes at every changeover. Lean cream idea can be implemented in margarine production. It's a very good question. Um, why not? We have not. I have not come across this idea before, but it's a very good idea. Margarine or spreadable butter with low fat and high protein. It's can be used, I must say. What we have seen, the lean cream has fatty structure, as we have discussed. In ice cream, we have also seen the lean cream has more stability as a melting point stability. So in the room temperature, if you keep normal ice cream and the ice cream with lean cream, it has a better structure for longer time. Considering that for margarine, this structure ability, the body texture ability, that can also be harnessed, not only making it more nutritious but also better in structure. But it's a very good point and worth noting. Thank you for that. I hope you have available team in Philippines. Oh yes, we have our team available for Southeast Asia. So please write back to us. We have currently we are also planning to have some week or 2 week of specific meetings for the customers in Philippines actually. So please write back to us. Most probably in August, September, we are coming there, making some meetings, making some conference, technical conference in Philippines. So we would like to meet you also when we are there. Our local team members are there, but we are also having our technology center in Singapore. We have our team sitting in Thailand actually also. So we will be able to support you for your further requirements. How we can solve the melting problem in premium product? For example, product is kulfi. In kulfi, looking at the recipe, again, what I could see, if one of the properties by using cavitator, the possibility of increasing the melting time was one of the possibility, as we saw in our trials. So that can be one of the ways. Other ways can be looking into the recipe. What is a recipe? So as you say, in the is it a premium product? So it would be having higher fat, as I can see. Maybe tweaking a recipe a bit by increasing the protein content, reducing the fat, and utilizing of cavitator. It can be one of the ways. That is what I can just think out of right away now. But we can we need to look into deeper process and recipe both and give you some suggestions. So what I would say, for the time now, it is a very short time for me to come back with this suggestion. But if you write back to me, we will like to have some detailed conversation and we can try to find out some solution for you. What is the difference of using continuous pasteurizer versus batch pasteurizer? The difference is the operations. If you want to make your operations continuous, go for continuous pasteurizer. The batch pasteurizer is normally used for smaller scale, for batch processes where you can have, normally in the commercial or processing plants, when we say anything starting more than 50,000 liters per day of processing, you should go for a continuous pasteurizer. For anything smaller than 50,000 liters per day, the batch pasteurizer should be good enough. What is pigging? So pigging is a scraping mechanism. What you do is, after the processing, before the CIP, you pass the scraper, and the scraper pushes the total solids throughout the pipe, so you don't mix water with the solids. So it is a scraping mechanism. Consider there is milk, cream, yogurt here, and then you want to push with the water. Now, if the water gets mixed with the product, you cannot use it. It goes for the rework. But if you have a solid silicone plug between the water and the product, so the water is pushing this plug or the scraper, and the scraper is pushing the product, then you get the clear, clean cut between the water and product. You don't lose this product. You get all the product into the packing lines. So that is what the pigging system is. We have brochures and we have very good animation for the pigging system. So if you go on YouTube and just search SPX FLOW APV pigging system, there is a very nice animation which will exactly show you what I'm trying to say. In 2 minutes, you will understand the concept. It's a very good system. If you are willing to have more information, the return on investment is less than 6 months, less than half a year. SPX is not selling batch pasteurizers. So that was a question about batch pasteurizer. We do not have batch pasteurizer. We normally have only um, continuous pasteurizers, but they are available in many capacities. So if you are looking for something small with a small plate heat exchanger, it is possible for us to offer that. And if you are only looking for batch pasteurizer, if this is a startup company, I don't know who is writing this, but if it is a startup company and if you are looking for a small batch pasteurizer, there is a way around it. You can do it. You can have a tank with the jacket, and that jacket can be used to increase the temperature. And then for cooling, you have to have some a very small plate heat exchanger, a very small with the coolant. Then you can make that process in your laboratory, or if you're looking for a small scale batch pasteurizer. Super. So thank you for so many questions. Thank you for so many interesting questions, many innovative questions coming from all over the world. But I would say that please reach out to us. Please reach out to us with your requirements, and we will try our best to uh, offer you with our solutions and make your operations innovative and sustainable.